adjustment was he tried to move the target with his eyes and just tighten up the line really a little bit and with a little speed. And the errant shots, he thought it was first the tape in the thumb hole, but it was basically just how he was getting out of it.
Snell starts with a 5 count.
Well, the only thing good about that is it's the first frame, and he didn't do it in the 10th frame of the last game, which would have been disastrous.
Only the second open for the team of Snell and Wolfe.
Well, he hasn't missed it yet.
Well, you're optimistic.
If he had made that, you'd have never let me forget.
Of course, I was rooting for him to make it.
5-step delivery. And it creeps up on the pin. Now watch the slide, the follow through, and he poses right there.
Here's a classic game for a left-hander. And an X on lane 14.
And Parker, when he's got his confidence, is as good as anybody in the game.
Hugh Miller, a seasoned pro with 5 career titles.
And if he does nothing else here this evening, he wants to wish his daughter Mallory a happy birthday
today, and he did so with a beautiful strike right there.
You'd like to give her a birthday present.
You're not kidding. Time for Richard Wolfe to head back to work and see if he could get something started on the right-hand lane.
What a start for these two guys.
Oh, no.
5 and 6 and donuts both times. In the vernacular, the Greek church and double pinochle.
That's an ugly start.
Yes, very ugly.
Open, open. And while we're on the subject of opens, that, of course, will be featured tonight on SportsCenter, the first-round coverage of the Women's United States Open. And there you see some of the other stories that will be handled tonight by Keith Olbermann and Abel Dan Patrick on SportsCenter a little later on tonight. Snell trying to get back to the pocket, and he does. Now the question is, will Hugh Miller and Parker Bohn allow these two gentlemen to get back into match number 3?
I'll tell you what, they're awful good bowlers to spot them 2 opens to begin with. I was busy with the interview and didn't notice whether Wolfe and Snell took practice balls on the practice pair. I guess they did take. I was thinking that maybe they hadn't, and they got a little cooled off.
Ooh, this one went wide. Parker has a little room, tried to bring it back, and didn't like that shot.
Parker seems to be throwing harder than anybody.
I think that's normally the case for Parker, though. He does zip it pretty good velocity-wise.
Well, he's got such a nice free swing, and he has such good timing and rhythm when it comes through. It's just snaps it through there.
First time I saw Parker, I had a chance to chat with PBA Hall of Famer Dave Davis, who had seen Parker grow up as a junior bowler and told me he was going to be a sensational player someday, and David was right on the money.
Well, you know, he bowled in that same junior tournament thing that Allen and Michael Lichtenstein did, and he only won about 6 of them. He didn't win nearly as many as those kids.
Hugh Miller, one of the all-time great championship round performers. Excellent television bowler.
He's an excellent bowler. He just hits the pocket. His carry is not the best in the world. Sometimes he lets that reach him emotionally and reacts with anger.
Richard Wolfe, Brad Snell down by 32, but they're on a strike. They could start to cut into that deficit with a double here.
Was that the head pin?
That was the head pin.
Oh, slow it down for us in the truck. Let's take one more look.
But I don't think the head pin's what knocked it over. Watch the head pin go over. The 4-pin slides over. And the 4-pin hit, the head pin hit the 4-pin, and the 4-pin knocked the 7-pin over.
Had him dancing in the aisles that trip.
I can cut it to 12 with one more.
Snell trying to get back into the thick of the match. And needs another break and doesn't get it. Boy, that would have helped the cause.
A little soft with the speed.
Strike there would at least put him back in touch.
Plus, it would have kept the momentum going with that exciting strike that Richard Wolfe got. Sometimes something like that can just be a spur to get a little extra adrenaline going, and you get really into the match, and the crowd's cheering, and it didn't happen.
On a strike, Parker could advance the lead to 33 if he X's here in the 5th frame.
Smooth style of Parker Bohn.
Nice and rhythmic, sends it out, brings it back, and that's a double.
As good a game as there is in the game today. Four-step player, pushes and steps right at the same time. Free swing. Look at how steady the head is. Backswing over the top of the head, but look at the pivot step. It's right in time there. The timing is perfect right there. And then the nice long slide, and boy, heavy fingers at the bottom.
Hugh Miller says, I'll join you, Parker. Let's put these guys away as early as possible. Parker Bohn, Hugh Miller, coasting here in game number 3, and they lead by a bundle. We'll be back with the conclusion of the semifinal right after these messages. To step up and make something happen in the 6th after a re-rack. His team trails by 43.
And as solid as Bohn and Miller look, they got to start thinking that they can't miss anymore. That's one.
Richard says, all right, come on, big fella. Let's get another strike here and give ourselves a pop at this thing, maybe down in the stretch run.
And they're in a situation that they could take this game out the sheet and still lose by a bunch.
Shoot 236, but after open, that's about it. And that's what they have to be wondering. Oh, man, if he hadn't thrown those bad shots to start things off, he might have a chance to win this.
Yeah, from what I understand, they did not throw practice balls on the practice lane, and so you just never know. I always thought that you needed to throw just one or two just to keep a little warm.
But you didn't pay any attention to the ball reaction?
None.
Just throw the ball.
Just throw the ball. Pay no attention to the ball reaction.
Good ball reaction here. Woo. Oh, what a break. And the break of the week. What? Hugh Miller rooting that one on.
Woo. What a break.
He hit that ball too hard.
Yes, he did. He really catches a handful here. A little soft with the speed. And look at the... Watch it here. See, well, we can't see what came out and hit the 4-pin and fell into the 2, and he almost missed the spare to boot.
A rather interesting frame as Parker Bohn extricates himself from trouble.
Shaky at best, but he got 10 down on 2 balls.
Hugh Miller, as you mentioned, just keeps pounding away at the pocket.
Well, what that does is it sets up a scenario the next 2 frames. Wolfe and Snell can get themselves right back in here, but they have to keep striking. Assuming that Hugh Miller is going to make the spare. Parker putting a piece of tape in his ball. Evidently didn't feel right to him. Maybe he lost it, and that's why the speed was a little less.
All right, a spare up for Hugh Miller. And don't forget, as soon as we're done here in Beaumont, we've got live top-ranked boxing from the San Diego Sports Arena. An NABF Junior welterweight, make that featherweight championship fight. Rudy Zavala and Jesus Salud. Jesus 41-5, and Zavala is 17-0-1.
Sounds like a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Has to have this one. He's ready. Shot of the week, though, is coming up for these 2 guys right now. To keep their hopes alive, he's got to strike here. Look at the revs on this ball, Denny. He gets more revs on 1 shot here than I got in a week.
Boy, just make him disappear all at once.
His reaction, he's ready.
To keep the match. And Snell comes through in the
plus. Look at Richard Wolfe up off the bench.
It's down to 10 pins now.
Parker Bohn has finished second in this event twice.
See, the thing is that if Parker does not strike here, the team of Miller and Bohn cannot lock him out.
More speed.
Ooh, what a classy shot that was on the right-hand leg.
See, that just demonstrates how important feel is with that bowling ball. It has to feel right in your hand, or it affects the way you let it go. It affects the way you're thinking in your subconscious. It felt right then. He made a quality shot. Miller now needs 2 strikes to put him away, one at a time.
Up quickly, likes the shot, and leaves the 6th pin. Boy, that was high flush.
And that's been the story of Hugh Miller's career lately on television. He always seems to leave something at the crucial time. Most of the time, it's a 7-pin. They're still in this match. They're still up by 10 pins. He needs to convert the spare. No mistakes at this point in the match. Dead flush. Now a strike gives him 226 and makes Richard Wolfe get 2 strikes in the 10th frame to win. If he doesn't strike, if he gets 9 or 8, then Richard would only need 1 and a good count. We could have a tie match here, Jim.
Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. Both of them were good shots.
That's right.
Richard Wolfe has to take it one at a time. He needs 2 strikes in the 10th frame. Obviously, they cannot win the match if he doesn't strike here.
Yeah, Wolf. It's a double first.
Gave it room.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, man.
Pin whistled around the 7, and all
That was
Brad can do is
fast.
grimace. Parker Bohn and Hugh Miller realize at this stage that they're in the title match.
And Richard is just, if we had a replay of him, he shouted something as he walked over. He was hot, and I don't blame him.
Great try for the win in the semifinal, but not to be tonight for Richard Wolfe or Brad Snell.
Watch his reaction. He's walking over, sees that 7-pin. I don't know what he said, but
I don't think it was our shot.
That was a good match, though.
Excellent performance by those 2 gentlemen, but they finished third. The big
Against
national preserve.